Krishna. So we will kind of continue where we left off last time about the questions raised by Yaksha to Yudhishthira Maharaj. One of the interesting aspect of Vedic scriptures, especially the two great epics, one is Kavya and one is Itihas. In both of this Grantha, there is the journey in the forest. One is called as Aranya Kanda and other is called as Vanaparva. Pandava stayed 13 years, 12 years exile and 1 year incognito. Similarly, Lord Ramachandra stayed for 14 years. With the Pandavas, if we see, when they were in the forest Vana, they went through a lot of tests by different devatas. Hanumanji tested Bhima, who is Vayu. And then after testing him, he blesses him, gives the benediction. Then we also see Arjun goes through so much of test. He is tested by Lord Shiva. There is a battle between Lord Shiva. Then he goes to Indralok. There also he is tested. And then when he fights the Nivata Kavachas, then he is tested by the Apsaras. Someone like Urvashi. And Urvashi was not an ordinary Apsara. She was basically appearing from Lord Narayan. When the Devatas, they tried to disturb Nar Narayan Rishi and Arjuna was there. She was basically, Arjuna had seen her coming from the Lord's thighs. So she tried to disturb by speaking the laws of the heavenly planets. So Arjuna passed that test. Then the Pandavas were also tested by the Pitris, their ancestor in the form of Nahusha. Nahusha, he basically almost consumed Bhima. Powerful personality, was completely caught in the grip of the python, Nahusha, who had become python. And only when Yudhishthira Maharaj and Nahusha had a discussion between each other, then Nahusha released Bhima and also his curse was released. So in this way continued their journey, and this one, the last, before they entered into incognito, 1 year of Agyatavas, the Yamaraj, all other tests you can pass. But the test of Yamaraj is difficult to pass. Like last time we discussed, when Yaksha asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, what is the Manushyatva of a Brahmana? Because for Brahmana there is no fear, because he is a knowledgeable person. So what makes him a human being? Only what separates him from Devatva is death. You don't hear in the scripture Yamaraj giving life. He takes life. When a Yamaraj comes as an Athithi, it takes away your life. In the Mahabharata, yes, certainly there is a story of Satyavana and Savitri. Savitri had the power, courage, ability, sahas tha, bargaining power tha. We discussed last time, who actually progresses. Those who have the sahas, जिसके पास सामर्थ्य है, वही जीत जाता है. One who has the courage to ask and seek help, they get the help. So Savitri had married someone who had a short life. It was completely certain that he is going to die. And he was dead also. And then Savitri went behind her husband and she was able to see Yamaraj. And there is a bargain between Yamaraj and Savitri. He offered her many benediction. He was conscious of not offering the life of her husband. But eventually Savitri was expert in asking for Putravati Bhava. आशीर्वाद देना पड़ा यमराज को. Now the putra cannot come without husband. So Yamaraj gave 400 years of life to her husband, Satyavan. So it is a very rare case. So here Yudhishthira Maharaj doesn't know that it is Yamaraj. There is Yamaraj and there is a Dharmaraj. There is a disciplining aspect of Lord Yama and there is a destructive aspect of Lord Yamaraj. जहाँ शिस्त काम नहीं करता वहाँ दंड काम करेगा. When there is no verbal discipline, then there is a destructive discipline. So that Yamaraj is in disguise and is asking question to Yudhishthira Maharaj. That was the final test before getting into incognito. So what the great teachers, the philosophers of the Vedic philosophy, they say that life is designed like this. It is a Vana Parva. हर एक के जीवन में वन पर्व और अरण्य कांड होगा ही. Those who have not experienced Vana Parva or Aranya Kanda, those who only experience hanging garden or some kind of garden, because what does garden represent? Garden represents orderliness, structured, certainties. But then what does it do? It removes away the excitement. The forest gives rise to uncertainty, and uncertainty gives rise to creativity, and creativity gives rise to the experience of failure and success. We studied last time also, who is the Sukhi? So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, he will come again, it will come again. Those who can handle the Dvandva, those who are able to handle the Dvandva, duality, they are successful. Now 10th results came, all the different results are coming. So CBSE results came. I was talking to two parents. Their children got more than 95%. So I asked both of them. Both were highly qualified. One is a doctor, one is a dental doctor. One lady got 89% when she was in 10th standard, but she was almost like 28th or 40th in Maharashtra. And this dental doctor was 40th in Maharashtra, having 80%. And their children have got more than 95%. And what is their number? They are 95% amongst 55,000 other students. So getting 80% is less, but the value is more. 95 and beyond, great number, it makes you feel that there is nobody compared to you. When you come out of your school, then you realize that I am one of the 55,000 students. What is it? That there is a great my excitement of that great number. It's a great number, 97. Somebody was asking this question. How is that people are getting such kind of grades? This time ICSE 2 students got 100 out of 100. In all the 7 papers, 700. Even Donald Broadman could not achieve that 100 average. He retired with 99.1, 96, something like that. Right. So 100 out of 100. First time in the history. So how is it possible? Is the board has become magnanimous like Lord Chaitanya? Patra, apatra na dekhi, just give them all the grades? If you say like that, you are basically questioning the children's hard work. The papers have not become less difficult, rather the facility for the children to crack has increased. The algorithm of questions based upon answering so many question paper, your mind is completely focused only about 10th exam, 12th exam. There is nothing but studies. And there is so much of scope, Google, children send their homework through WhatsApp messages also. If you don't go to school, till you go to the school, because most of the time you would not have friends staying close to each other, and if you miss the school, only when you would go to the school you get to know what you missed. That day you have to take the notebook from your friend and copy it and then study. But here, as the children are learning, the class is over there, take the picture and send. This is this, part of the subject you have to study. So there is a greater resources and facilities to crack the most difficult exam also. So therefore, but the problem is when there is a greater resources, more number of people will try to achieve the same thing what you achieve. Previously, when you played cricket as a young boy, you are very clear that you are only playing for your gully. Most of us. You enjoyed playing. Now those who go to play, they dream of becoming somebody other than enjoying the play. Even the play has become as competitive as appearing for the 10th standard exam. The fun has gone. It's all about the future. So when there is such an excitement there is an excitement and there is a great anxiety. So what does it do? It basically causes great disturbance. Those who are equipped to minimize the gap between the good side and the bad side, the exciting situation and the anxiety situation, if you make that less and less, there is a greater chances for you to remain stable. Yesterday only somebody was talking. He's a doctor. No, but he gets to spend a lot of time with his patients. Unlike other doctors, his profession is like that. And he was telling few incidents of dealing with this most sophisticated people. No? Bollywood industry, Hollywood industry, sports people. He said they have to create an event which they have to create and call it as a surprise party. Just see how much one has to be a fake to fix it and again become more artificial to act exciting. I don't want to share many things because then, it's his profession. So the point is, he was telling Prabhuji, it is so artificial. He said, I don't understand how they can sleep in the night. मैच फिक्सिंग से लेकर अपने बर्थडे पार्टी को फिक्स करके then you celebrate the victory, like another devotee, she is studying law. She works under one of the very big lawyer. And she was telling Prabhu, you can't imagine how many cases we deal with betting incidents. Match fixing. Match fixing doesn't only happen in ordinary matches. From the highest level to gully ka cricket, सब जगह में fixing होता है. So where is the excitement if you are fixing everything? Therefore, in the Vedas, Krishna spoke to Yudhishthir Maharaj. No, Krishna spoke to Vidur. Very interesting. Many times people say, "Na, अरे जो नसीब में है वही होगा." नसीब में है वही होगा. How do you know what is there in your नसीब? If you know what is your nasib, you become redundant, lazy, or you become depressed. So, the laws of God has made it so beautifully. Krishna told Vidur, he said, I've come here as a peacemaker. The question is asked, did Krishna knew that Duryodhan will reject the proposal? If Krishna knew that Duryodhan is going to reject the proposal, then what is the point in going to Hastinapur? Is Krishna also like one of the match fixers? Act as if I don't know. So you have to hear from Krishna's words only. He is speaking to Vidur, one of the most authentic personality. Vidur says, Krishna, why are you here? You should have not come to this place, because whom are you dealing with? You are dealing with Duryodhan. Duryodhan does not have any regards to you. His quality is to disregard to those who are superior to him. He disregards. And he takes pleasure in disregarding those who are honorable people. Sometimes, there is a perversion of rebel. What is it? If he is my father, I am going to rebel against him. If he is my teacher, she is my teacher, I want to rebel. Cause pain to them. I take pleasure. I remember talking to some students, they were repeatedly caught copying. I asked them, why are you doing? I said, मजा आता है. Teacher पकड़ते ना हमको. So they had fun being caught by the teacher. That was their excitement. So Duryodhan was height of that narcissism, to disrespect. And trying to capture Krishna was not abruptly happened during the peace message, but he was planning before only how to capture Krishna. So Vidur knows everything, so he tells Krishna, Krishna, what is the point? What is the point in going and talking to Duryodhan? It is futile. So Krishna spoke very interestingly. He said, my dear Vidur, what is within our control is our Purushartha. And what is not within our control is our Daiva. Therefore, I will put my efforts. Tomorrow the world should not say Krishna did not try. Tomorrow the world should not say Krishna did not try. Still the world says. And secondly, Krishna said, if you try to do something good for the society, if you try to build the society, if you work on uniting the society, that is the quality of Deva. And if you try to break the society, that is quality of a Rakshasa. He said, I want to do good, and if I fail in doing good, still I will not be held responsible. Rather, I will get the credit of doing good because I tried my best. Here Krishna is speaking as an exemplary personality doing his nishkam karma. When we say now offering the fruits of your result means what? Fruit means you don't offer mango, you don't offer fruits. Fruits means your efforts is what you offer. The results are not within your control, because results could be right or wrong. Results could be successful or failure also. So therefore, Purushartha is within our control. What is not within our control is our Daiva. And all this fixing is so artificial. You are trying to be artificially excited for the result which is already fixed. And therefore, you have to artificially experience excitement also. मतलब कितना दुर्भाग्य, where we have gone from such a reality, we have come to such an unreality. So then what happens? Our excitement is fake, but our anxiety is real. Because ultimately what happens when we are in anxiety, we will be in anxiety. Somebody says, one will not respect oneself in the privacy of one's heart, because you know yourself very well. अपने आप को अच्छा से समझते हो, तो हाउ डू यू रिस्पेक्ट योर सेल्फ, स्पेशली क्रिएटिंग सच अ फेक थिंग. देयर फॉर वन पर्व एंड the Aranya Kanda is the heart of these true literatures. No, they are the heart of this true literature. And what do this Parva do? This Kanda do? They make you paripakva. They make you matured. And when you become paripakva, then you don't grab it. And it is not given to you. Basically, you earn it. The whole principle of life, when you receive something without being qualified. One of our devotees was mentioning, he is doing psychology, studying psychology. And he said there was a experiment made in Stanford University. Very interesting experiment. They had two sets of students. One set of the students were given the role of jailer, taking care of people in the jail, controlling them, monitoring them, disciplining them. And other set of the students became prisoners. They are acting. It is not real, they are acting. And the experiment was supposed to go for a month. And you know what happened? Those who were supposed to control, they started abusing those students under them. They started taking pleasure. Ragging is nothing but that only. The senior students rag their juniors to the extent sometimes the junior student commits suicide also. They go through mental depression. So when they started abusing these students who are part of the school, and it is done under the control of one of the biggest universities, Stanford, but the abuse is happening by the older people. So they had to cut short the experiment because the student complained about the abuse. So I was telling this story to one devotee. He said there was a drama in one place. Devotees did the drama. 5 paise ka circus. So one was acting as bashing, those who come inside the circus. He actually started taking pleasure in beating the devotees. How long that drama takes? 10 to 15 minutes. So the conclusion was, when you get power which you don't deserve, when your power is given to you or grabbed it, so you want to prove yourself successful, therefore you assert power, you impose power, you conceive in your mind. Therefore you want to prove your power. But those who have earned the power, they never become narcissist. उनमें narcissism आएगा ही नहीं. And therefore we see, where there is this fixation of situation and you win something, everything is wrong. So therefore here Yudhishthira Maharaj, the Pandavas had to go through all this test. Whether it is Mother Sita in the Ramayana, Draupadi in the Mahabharata. Yesterday we had a very big discussion about Sita's banishment. So when you ask this question to people, do you not have the same situation? May not be as big as Mother Sita. So many people have this conflict, the conflict, dharma sankat, choosing between the parents living in India and the family in America. Hundreds of stories. The parents are saying, "Hum log bude ho gaye, aa jao wapis," and the children are saying, "Papa, India stinks. We don't want to go there." And you love your family back in America, and you love your parents back in India also. What will you do? So many stories like that, choosing between the two. So here Lord Ramachandra also went through that. He had to choose between the citizens and his wife, because the citizens were the one who had objected for, they did not object Sita. The question is not objecting Sita's purity. It's about Ram's credibility. When you question the king only, how do you respect him? If you don't respect the king, how can king perform good work for the citizens? So therefore we see this, and therefore here Yamaraj is basically testing Yudhishthira Maharaj in such a tough situation, because there is no greater pain than the pain of not even hunger, thirst. Pani, if there is no water, tomorrow those will be fasting from water also, they will realize in the afternoon 12 o'clock. It's so painful. Then you go early evening, it becomes more painful. खाना से भूखा रह सकता है, but if you get water, you can survive for a few days also. But if you don't get water also, it is so difficult. Yudhishthira Maharaj did not have water. His brothers were dead. His faith was challenged. The prediction given by all the great sages was in doldrum, because he's seeing his dead brothers. They were dead. And then on top of that, he's asking that you have to answer question. Only if you answer the questions rightly, you are entitled to drink the water. That is how life is. You cannot fix the questions. You cannot fix the answer. In fact, even the person who was asking the question, Yamaraj, did not exactly knew the right answer. After hearing from Yudhishthira Maharaj, he could recognize, wow, this makes better answer. Like other day, I'm interested in education, so therefore I keep seeing the reports. Interested in education and election. No? So, basically, they said now they want to ask more subjective kind of questions. Understanding your creativity. But the problem is most teachers are trained to check subjective answers. So if you give such question to the students, so the answer becomes extremely, like everywhere. It will be diverse answers seen from so many different perspectives. But are the teachers trained to expect those kind of answers? Even the big philosophers have a trouble in regards to accepting another point of view. We are so accustomed studying tables. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. We don't want to see 4 from any other way other than 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Conditioned. Even though you can reach 4 by so many other ways, but there is a stubbornness. Ki my way is the only way to achieve 4. If you are a Maharashtrian and your dal has sugar, then you condemn the Gujarati dal. Koi dal hai kya? Arey dal hai na, Gujarati dal hai. Even dal, mangoes. There are so many varieties of mangoes. Like today Braj Bihari Prabhu was mentioning, in 16th century or 17th century, there was this ordinary flour was made into special flour by what? By advertisement, propaganda. And because of that, people used to pay lakhs of dollars, thousands of dollars to buy that ordinary flour. Usko mahan bana diya. Because people started, hearing, and then it increases its value. And one person, when they were carrying those flour from the ship, one of the shipmate, he was so hungry, there was nothing to eat, he ate all these flowers. And he was brutally punished for doing this. Ek pushpa ko lekar. So therefore, we see what this part of the Mahabharata teaches through Yudhishthira Maharaj, that the greatest happiness is the stability, not stagnancy. Sthirta is different from stagnancy. You are stable. Stability only happens when there is a movement. And Pandavas are constantly in move. And in their movement, they are stable. They are growing. They have the capacity to handle any challenges of life. Therefore, we will study next few questions. I think we did up to 89. So Yaksha asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, what is moha, what is ahankar, what is laziness, and what is shoka, alasya? And Yudhishthira Maharaj was ready with his answer. He said, ignorance about dharma is moha. Now, what is dharma? That itself is a big discussion. What is dharma? The word dharma is used everywhere. Dharma nirapekshata. Dharma nirapekshata has been translated as secularism. But dharma and secularism are not synonymous at all. Secularism is man-made artificially as a challenge to the faith-centric religion in the Europe, which was causing limitless violence to people. But dharma is the inherent integral character of the living entity. It is very dynamic. Tomorrow is Lord Narsinghdev's appearance day. More than Lord Narsingdev, Braj Bihari Prabhu and Baldev Prabhu will discuss about Prahlad Maharaj. No? And to discuss Prahlad Maharaj and Lord Narsingdev, Hiranyakashipu is the catalyst. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, more than Prahlad Maharaj, Hiranyakashipu, buying an anti-Krishna consciousness, glorified Lord Narsingdev. Because Lord Narsingdev did not just come to protect Prahlad, because Prahlad was already protected. Prahlad Maharaj did not matter to him death or life. No, he is beyond Brahmana also, he is beyond Kshatriya also, he was a Kshatriya also. He fought wars. So that very Prahlad, as a Kshatriya, he never feared. And as a devotee of Krishna, he never feared. But Krishna came to prove the words of Narad Muni and Prahlad Maharaj about his appearance, Lord Narsingdev. So one time in the forest, Draupadi and Yudhishthira Maharaj had a discussion. What is the discussion? The discussion point is, which is more important, forgiveness or punishment? कौन सा महत्वपूर्ण है? दंड देना महत्वपूर्ण है या क्षमा करना महत्वपूर्ण है? So Yudhishthira Maharaj is proposing forgiveness is greater. And Draupadi pauses. And Draupadi tells her husband Yudhishthira Maharaj, what she does, she quotes scripture. And whom does she quote? She quotes Prahlad Maharaj. She says, one time there was a discussion between Prahlad and Bali. Bali was a grandson. Bali asked Prahlad Maharaj about, he said, my dear grandfather, because Prahlad is Vriddha. Last time we saw, how do you become man of wisdom? Vriddha sevaya. Vriddha means one who has grown. Vriddha is not old. Vriddha यानी कि जो परिपक्व हुआ है. So he asked his grandfather, my dear grandfather, you are the king. Used to be king, you ruled for so long. Can you tell me which is more important, punishment or forgiveness? And what does Prahlad Maharaj tell his grandson? And Draupadi is quoting this story. So that again makes very clear, even the ladies knew Shastras very well. Not only telling Shastra, they are quoting scripture to Yudhishthira Maharaj. And she says, when he asked this question, Prahlad Maharaj told Bali Maharaj the advantage of Kshama. Kshama ka advantage kya hai? And then what did he say? He said, everything has its flip side also. And he said the disadvantage of Kshama. He said when you forgive people repeatedly, they take you for granted. They think you are a cowardice. Even your servants, they just neglect your orders. He said, Kshama, when it is done repeatedly by the king, especially the king, he said he loses his country for sure. So Prahlad Maharaj told Yudhishthira, Bali Maharaj, he said, Kshama or Danda are utilized according to the time, situation and place. Then he explained the power of punishment, and he also explained the disadvantage of punishing. What happens with punishment? When you ask somebody to punish, they punish people more than what other party deserves, and people take pleasure in punishing. There was a Brahmana in Ramayana. Indra saw him to be extremely powerful, and Indra feared that he might come and take over the heavenly planets. So he disguised himself as a Kshatriya, came down, and he said to this Brahmana, can you keep this weapon of mine, sword? थोड़े समय के लिए अपने पास रख देना. I'll come and take it back. So what happened? This Brahmana, weapons are very fascinating. If you go to the army's exhibition center, when you see guns and tankers, fighter planes, even those who never wanted to be a warrior, उनके मन में आता है मुझे भी चलाना चाहिए. आ ही जाता है मन में. After the Pulwama attack, the number of people wanting to join after the surgical strike has increased. See? Immediately there was a upraise in people wanting to join because the spirit increased. So this Brahmana became curious. पहले देखने लगा वो तलवार को, बोला क्या तलवार है. And he started holding that sword. Then he would go in and around his ashram. Then he would take the banana plantation, a banana plant, and then he would cut, and the entire tree would come down because banana plant is very delicate. वो देखता था, wow, क्या कटता है. He was so fascinated, and eventually within no time, instead of cutting the trees, he was cutting people also. So Indra never came back to take his sword only because he was happy with his throne. He lost his tapasya only. So just see, the power of association makes one do what he did. Why did I tell this story? Limitation of punishment. The punishing people become brutal. Therefore, if you study Mahabharata, Krishna, he always has a policy of punishing but rewarding more than the punishment. You are only qualified to punish someone who is your subordinate if you can reward them more than your punishment. So therefore, Prahlad Maharaj did conclude saying that Kshama in one sense is better, but Kshama is not independent of punishment. दोनों एक दूसरों के साथ में पूरक है. So Draupadi spoke this to Yudhishthira Maharaj. He said, because you are Kshamasil all the time, you are a Kshatriya. A Kshatriya cannot afford to forgive all the time. He will be taken for granted. He said, how can you forgive these people? And then Draupadi basically plays a very interesting game or a part. She starts, in one sense, questioning Dharma. She starts questioning Ishwar. She says, I see all the time in my experience, those who practice Dharma, those who are nice people, they are the one who always suffer. Why? Bad things happen to good people. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, instead of answering the question of Kshama and Danda, he said, Draupadi, how could you speak Nastic philosophy? You are speaking against Ishwar and you are speaking Nastic philosophy. How can you do this? Because in Ram's kingdom, one important principle for being part of the governance was not to have Nastics in the cabinet. A rule था. When that Jabali Rishi spoke Nastikvad, basically favoring Lord Ramchandra to return to Ayodhya, Ram stopped there. He said, how did my father appoint such a Nastic personality in the kingdom? How could he do it? Then Vasishtha Maharshi has to tell him, he is not a Nastic, he is not a Nastic. He is only using this to bring you back. He said, no, at no point of time Nastikta should be used even for a good reason. That was Ram's idea. But at the same time, you being a Nastic was not a fault. That's your choice. The people were there, subjects were there, Nastic. Nastics were not killed because they did not have the same faith as you had. They could live happily. But they could not be part of the cabinet because they do not have faith in regards to the concept of future life. And if you don't have trust in future life, then you focus only about this life. When you focus about this life, then you become brutally practical. There is a professor in, I think, Harvard University. He talked about money and market. What money can buy and what money can't buy. Very interesting thesis he wrote. And one part of the thesis talks about in Kenya, African country, there was this black rhino which was becoming extinct. So the government banned people from shooting the rhino, hunting the rhino. And then slowly supported people to, breed more and more rhinos. People started having ranches, started growing rhinos. But then the problem was, the rhinos were becoming good in number, but they wanted to support people, those who were running the ranches. So what they did was, they started this hunting tourism. And the caption read that hunt the black rhino which is becoming extinct. So what happened when people got to know that these are very rare species are getting extinct, but we are getting to hunt them, so people started registering for hunting. And you know how much they used to charge? They would charge $150,000 to hunt one rhino. So the more ranches came, more rhinos were breeded, more hunters came. So this person is asking this question, does it make sense? You are breeding rhinos at the cost of the rhinos only. Therefore, market has no morality. Morality thinks from the perspective of how life should be, and market thinks from the perspective of how the business should work. So there is a conflict between the morality and the market. To such an extent, there was also another survey. They said, previously in America, basketball players, baseball players, they would sign. Children would ask them, and then others would ask them, they would sign autograph. Then they started selling their autograph on the ground, $8, $10, $13, $20, $40. They started selling it. And seeing the market of such product, the companies were formed that we will get autograph of people and we'll sell it to you. So just see, and these things, market morality, market morality becomes a business. It's a good book. He's written about what money can't buy. And then the relationship, people start buying friendship also. In the Facebook, if you want a very good looking friends, then you are supposed to pay 99 cents per month for one friend. Then they realize that they are being sold fake friends. No. Just see again, the question of fixing doesn't happen on the higher level only. We also fix. We also fix. Therefore, because it is there amongst the ordinary people, it is there. They are also part of the ordinary people only. Suddenly, they became big. So when they fix, it is the same character. The values did not change. Only the volume changed. Therefore, Prabhupada said, whether it is Khira Chor or Hira Chor, Chor Chori, uska value system वैसा है. So therefore, Dharma is one of the most complex subject matter. More than the complex, it's very intriguing. It's very fascinating. It's a very fascinating subject matter because Dharma is very dynamic. Therefore, here Yudhishthira Maharaj said, ignorance about Dharma is moha. Moha means what? Moha means it completely covers, and we always take a wrong decision in life because we don't know what Dharma is. Therefore, Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, what is nectar is considered as a poison, and what is poison is considered as nectar. It is all about how does it taste, how does it feel, how did you talk to me. The best cheating happens when somebody speaks to you very sweetly. And what in this world most of the time there are conflict based upon people do not speak so sweetly. Therefore people separate. Like this girl who is studying law, she was telling, one lady divorced her husband because the man told her to make tea with little harsher word. The case came to her. She said, Prabhuji, she has become more matured. She is a devotee daughter and dealing with this thing. He said, divorce. Therefore, nowadays, there is so much of emphasis on non-violent communication. Non-violent communication could be very deceptive also at times. Because in non-violent communication, you feel very happy. Wow, they speak so sweetly. वहाँ सत्य से बढ़कर मीठा के बारे में हम ज़्यादा ध्यान देते हैं. We are focusing on more sweetness rather than truth, satya. Therefore, Krishna, he told Gandhari, he told Draupadi also, satya doesn't have any color. Satya is nirakar. Dharma is nirakar. धर्म को न तो कोई स्वाद है न रूप है, उसको रूप देना पड़ता है. You are forced to give shape to dharma, you are forced to give shape to satya by maturity. Therefore, dharma is very dynamic. Therefore, kshama or danda is neither one of them good or bad. It all depends upon whom are you dealing with. So here Yudhishthira Maharaj said ignorance about dharma is moha, and we see that. Therefore again, if there is a choice between experiencing fairness and sweetness, it's excellent to experience sweetness and fairness, but life is not like that. You'll always have to choose between experiencing fairness or sweetness. It is better to take fairness because sweetness could be causing diabetic. What happens with a diabetic patient? There is blur. The mind is not functioning properly. You are hungry, you eat, and you still feel that you are hungry as if you have not eaten. मीठा का प्रॉब्लम यही है, वो हमारे अस्तित्व को मिटा देता है. इसलिए उतना ही मीठा खाना चाहिए जितना हम डाइजेस्ट कर सकते हैं, बट जस्टिस और फेयरनेस को कितना भी हम स्वीकार कर सकते हैं, बिकॉज इट इज टेस्टलेस. एंड एरोगेंस, अहंकार. What is the question? What is ahankar? Ahankar is atma-abhiman. Atma-abhiman is not the abhiman of I am the spirit soul. Atma-abhiman means here, arrogance means my abhiman is connected to my position. My abhiman is connected to my resources. My ahankar is connected to my relationships. My ahankar is connected to my ignorance also. If somebody is ignorant and arrogant, then that Atmabhiman is extremely very, very thick. Very thick. People we see in this world, unfortunately, you take sides based upon your relationships, not based upon dharma. It is most difficult one. Even for a small thing also, I remember when we all went to school, most of the children never went back to their parents in regards to small challenges, difficulties they had to face with their other friends. They would handle. They were experienced in handling. They had their vana parva. But then what happens nowadays? Even the small complexities, the children go to the parents and parents take it very seriously. Usko seriously lete. And unfortunately what happens, because they have only one child, so there is a greater obsession about that child. Even if there is a little scratch, they act as if there is a big surgery only. How many times when our age people used to grow, पैर फूट जाता था, एक एक घंटे के लिए बच्चे लोग घर भी नहीं जाते थे. That was wrong, no doubt. But in other sense, it made them very tough. तो इसलिए यहाँ arrogance is what? Atma-abhiman. Extreme degree of abhiman about my connections. And therefore externalities, even in the religious field, even you are part of the same kind of faith. If you study Christianity, Islam also, sometimes people say, अरे देखो वो लोग कितना साथ में काम करते हैं. सबसे बड़ा झूठ है. When somebody says Hindus are always divided and the Christians and Muslims are united, there is no greater myth than that. A Protestant will never go to a Catholic church, for your information. An ignorant Hindu will go to both the places, Catholic church also and Protestant church also. But the Christian themselves, they will not go. If you go to America, if there is a church, even amongst the own faith, if there is a church controlled by the Hispanic people, you will not see the white Americans there. If there is a church of the black people, you don't see white people going there. But if you go to Tirupati, everybody goes. If you go to Jagannath Puri, everybody goes. No discrimination. They don't say, this is a Telugu ka Balaji hai aur ye fir Tamil ka Balaji hai. Balaji, Balaji hai. People go from everywhere. Kumbh Mela. What is our strength? We condemn that as our Gyan. Ignorance about dharma is moha. In Kumbh Mela, other than the big sadhus, they have their ego. Raja Snan, unke snan ke samay koi nahi jata. Once their snan is done, then there is no discrimination in regards to who is taking bath in Sangam. Next to you could be a Chandal taking bath. And you could be a Saraswat Brahman. You're taking bath, they're close to each other. Where does it happen? Do we talk about it? We don't talk. We still talk about what? Oh, Hindus are always divided. Yes, they are divided politically. But in regards to practice of spirituality, all the Kumbh Melas, all the temple, Jagannath temple, you will see there is a greater diversity being uniformed. In other place doesn't happen. Therefore, why? Because there is a lesser involvement of Sharir, but more involvement of Atma when you worship. Therefore, the temples were the best place to break all kinds of barriers. I remember, there is one modern guru in Karnataka, young person, modern, highly educated engineer, then he's in regular dress, he speaks about, new age type of spirituality. And he was seriously speaking, the only place where there is no discrimination, कोई भेदभाव नहीं है. Again, there is lesser knowledge about dharma. He said, I see only place where there is no distinction is bar. He said, I recommend my people to go to bar and drink, because वहाँ किसके गिलास में कौन पी रहा है, शेंगा उसी प्लेट से सब लोग मिल के खा रहे हैं, शराब पी रहे हैं. He said that is the beginning of breaking all the barriers of high, low, उच्च जाति, नीच जाति. वो भी मंदिर ही है. कौन सा मंदिर है? मद्यपान मंदिर. So again, that is ignorance of dharma. So what does it do? It destroys the unique, distinct individualism. And what dharma does, that unique individualism is integrated but not disintegrated. आप अपने अस्तित्व को नहीं खोलते हो, आप अपने अस्तित्व को खोते नहीं हो, अपना अस्तित्व रहेगा. Just like when nice khichdi is made, every ingredient in the khichdi has its unique identity, but they know how to become part of that khichdi so that you can nicely enjoy. But if there is a continual identity about my position, my situation, my caste, वो आत्माभिमानी क्या हो जाता है? अहंकार का कारण बन जाता है. What is laziness? Dharma inaction is laziness. Not dharma inaction. Dharma inaction is laziness. No, very nice. In the Mahabharata, after the Pandavas lost everything, Shaunak Muni comes to Pandavas. And then he sees Yudhishthira Maharaj suffering. Why is he suffering? Not because he has lost everything, because he has still the bhava. उनके अंदर भाव है ना, दातृत्व की, देने की भावना है. He is a giver. Always he gave as a king. He had resources to give. But now he cannot give. Attitude of giving is there, but he cannot give. Therefore there is a pain, because 60,000 Brahmanas, Agnihotris are there with him, and he is not able to feed them. So then when he speaks to Shaunak Rishi speaks about, very interesting. We see nowadays there is again this new trend of energy healing. You must have heard about that. Energy healing has become a big thing now. The whole process of modern way of doing research about medicine, education is always linear thinking. Remove this line and bring a new line. Before, what happened was, body was mechanistic system, focus on doing everything mechanistic. Now there are many modern medical people only, they say mind is the greatest problem for the pain. Negative thinking is the greatest problem. If you have positive thinking, then you can overcome all your pain. So there is another linear method they have found, कि just focus on positive thinking. Release your pain, release your anger, they make you go through all that. But the Vedic thought process is brilliant. Shaunak Rishi, he says, in one sense it's a circular. And he explained, my dear Yudhishthir, there are 4 reasons for which we suffer. 4 कारण हैं जिससे हम लोग दुखी होते हैं. And the first thing he said, because of the physical disease. All disease do not appear only because of the mind. Certainly they do appear because of the mind also, but this is the nature of the body to become sick. शरीर वैसा बना हुआ है. आदमी कितना भी महान हो, वृद्धावस्था के कारण इम्यूनिटी सिस्टम कम हो जाएगा, बीमार पड़ेगा ही. तो accept that reality that not everything is happening only because of the mind, because the body also becomes sick, because body is made like that. If you keep a mango, and you tell that mango, don't become rotten, I am going to send positive energy to you, तो काल क्या करेगा, उसको इतना और पकाएगा, हम पक जाएंगे उससे. Either you eat it or you throw it. काल ने क्या कर दिया, उसको पका दिया. तो शरीर भी एक फल के समान ही है. So it is but natural that body will be sick. Certainly true because of the mind also many times. That also he speaks. But most of the time it could also means old age के कारण, वातावरण बदलने के कारण आदमी sick हो जाता है. That is the first thing he said. One experiences suffering. And second reason Shaunak Maharshi told, just see, these people are basically psychiatrists and psychologists also, giving such a brilliant integrated understanding of what is disease. And the second thing he said, that when you hear unpleasant news, अप्रिय घटनाओं को श्रवण करने के कारण दुख क्लेश का अनुभव करते हैं. If your life is unfortunately connected with अप्रिय घटना, unpleasant news, it makes you sick, it makes you weak, it makes you experience pain. And third he said, प्रिय वस्तुओं का वियोग, feeling separation from those things which are very dear to you. श्रवण करना और वस्तु आपसे लिया जाता है, स्टॉक मार्केट गिर जाता है, या कुछ वस्तु आप खो देते हो, या वेरी क्लोज फैमिली मेंबर्स दे मूव अवे फ्रॉम यू, दे डाई, देयर इज अ सेपरेशन. अप्रिय वस्तु, प्रिय वस्तुओं का वियोग. And the fourth one he said, overwork. अपने क्षमता के बाहर कार्य करने से आपको क्लेश का अनुभव होता है. So युधिष्ठिर महाराज को शौनक ऋषि ने कहा, this is the combination of आदि and व्याधि. ये श्लोक है, आदि and व्याधि, some coming from the mind and some coming from the body. आदि and व्याधि. And he said, what is the solution? He gives the solution also, very interesting. He says the solution for this is, he said, stop thinking about it. Because when you think about it, you can't solve the problems. चिंतन करने से चिंता में परिवर्तन हो जाता है. वो समस्या का हल नहीं करता, परंतु समस्या के दृष्टिकोण, the way you start seeing things, your perspective, it is this big problem, but because you continuously see, it starts becoming bigger, not in size, but in your mind. अपने मन में बड़ा होने लगता है. There is no problem in this world in regards to the capacity for a human being not to handle. ऐसा कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं जिसको मनुष्य हैंडल नहीं कर पाता. द प्रॉब्लम इज बिलीफ दैट आई कैनॉट टेक इट एनी मोर. दैट इज द ग्रेटेस्ट प्रॉब्लम यू कैनॉट हैंडल, बिकॉज यू हैव एक्सेप्टेड दैट यू कैनॉट हैंडल. Therefore he said, very interesting, चिंतन करने से समस्या दूर नहीं होता. But he said, unfortunately most of the time people spend their entire energy in thinking about it. जो सोचने से अगर समस्या दूर हो जाए तो सोचो भर भर के, लेकिन सोचने से समस्या दूर नहीं होता, लेकिन फिर भी लोग उसके बारे में सोचते रहते. He said, therefore, what an interesting, महाभारत को हमें 5,000 रुपए देना चाहिए वो एक श्लोक पढ़ने के लिए. People pay so much of money. And second, he said, what is the solution? He said, action. He said, क्रिया. क्रिया से ही समस्या का हल हो सकता है. चिंता करने से समस्या का हल नहीं हो सकता. Therefore, my dear Yudhishthira Maharaj, he said, when you come closer to those problems, nip them in the bud. वो जैसे ही समस्या आ गए उनको उधर ही काट डालो, उधर ही उसको खत्म कर दो. बीमारी आ गई तुरंत, इसे डील विथ इट. एंड देन ही सेड, आपका चिंता का कारण क्या है, दुख का कारण क्या है? कि बिकॉज यू आर नॉट एबल टू सर्व द ग्रेट ब्राह्मणास. सो स्टॉप थिंकिंग अबाउट इट, एक्ट अपॉन इट. ही सेड, इन्वोक सन गॉड. You have the power to invite him. And what does this Akshay Patra represent? Akshay Patra represents, in the symbolic meaning of the Vedas, Akshay Patra represents fertile earthly planet. अगर भूमि देवी के साथ में सही प्रकार से काम करेंगे, जो अन्नदाता, युधिष्ठिर महाराज is in one sense the original farmer. अन्नदाता क्या कर सकता है? वो खाना दे सकता है हजारों लोगों को. लेकिन अन्नदाता ही फूड बिल के पीछे भागने लगता है कि मुझे खाना मिल रहा है फुकट का, न्याय का 72,000 रुपये मिलेगा, तो क्या हो जाएगा? If they start following, they're already, the citizens are already like Rahul Gandhi only. So he said, work on it. And then Yudhishthira Maharaj did offer those special prayers. And what is the power of sun? Vitamin D deficiency is connected again to not exposing ourselves to sun rays. And in our system, whether you are man, woman, Shudra, Brahmana, it didn't matter, every day, at least 3 times, people did offer Sandhya. तर्पण किया करते थे. And I have personally seen it. Just fresh, few days back, one devotee was going through severe health issues and not getting well only. And then what happens when you are perpetually sick and then you don't know why it is happening? Then the mind becomes very disturbed. I saw him, very dynamic. I said, क्या हो गया? I said, let us work on something. It's a medicine. We only think medicine means taking medicine. There is a medicine also taking sun rays. So, one very good astrologer, he told him, he said, आपको सूर्य का किरण का प्रकाश लेना चाहिए और इसको आप पूजा के रूप में भी परिवर्तित कर दो. In the Vedic system, you don't only expose to nature for the sake of exposing. The exposure to nature is a byproduct of your gratitude and your puja. तो क्या कृतज्ञता की भावना भी आ गई, भक्ति की भावना भी आ गई. So within 15 days there is such a transformation. He is chanting the same mantras. Again you have to, it's like a medicine. So he took this medicine of offering tarpan and I ask him every day because he goes the same place where I stay. कैसा चल रहा है? प्रभु जी तगड़ा एकदम स्ट्रांग है अभी, मन स्थिर हो गया एकदम. एंड देन युधिष्ठिर महाराज को उनके गुरु दौम्य ऋषि ने कहा, it is not replacing Hare Krishna mantra. I'm not saying Hare Krishna mantra is a love call. And this mantra is for a health call. माइंड को स्टेबल करने के लिए है. जब भी मन त्रस्त हो गया है, मन की बीमारी है, बिकॉज इट सेज इन द स्क्रिप्चर. सो युधिष्ठिर महाराज को उन्होंने कहा, मन, बुद्धि, शरीर के वेदनाओं को दूर करने की उसमें क्षमता है. देयरफॉर इट इज एक्सप्लेन्ड which is the greater medicine. If you don't have the medicine coming from the mantra, then you take the medicine coming from the yoga. If that is not available, then you take the medicine coming from Aushadhi. But you have to take some medicine. Another very interesting perspective also. If somebody is actually suffering from mental disorder and she or he doesn't have the capacity to chant the mantras, don't have the capacity to do yoga, words simply will not help them. शब्दों से उनमें परिवर्तन नहीं आएगा. If you give them pep talk, however great philosophical power you have, but you only have the words which may pacify them for some time till they are out of your room, because the mind is still disturbed. तो उनके लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा आपको? और डॉक्टर के पास ले जाना पड़ेगा. You have to take them to the doctor. And I remember many years we would say, never go to any psychiatrist. Rather than you solve the problem, na? If I am not solving the problem and saying not to go, what will happen? It will become troublesome. Very interesting, one of our devotees studying about this. And he realized, he said, when somebody has a severe mental depression, and the first symptom is that lack of sleep, निद्रा उड़ जाती है. और जितना निद्रा उड़ती है उतना हमारा पागलपना बढ़ने लगता है. Who is saying this? Krishna is saying this in the Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter. Yukta hara, yukta vihara, yukta chestasu karmasu. Therefore, Yudhishthira Maharaj ko Narad Muni is asking, he is giving wisdom through questions. And what is one of the question he asked? सही समय पर सोते हो ना? नारद मुनि युधिष्ठिर महाराज को प्रश्न कर रहा है. He is not asking, since you are a great Yudhishthira Maharaj, doesn't matter whether you sleep or not. He says, सही समय पर सोते हो ना? सही समय पर जग जाते हो ना? सही समय पर धर्म अर्थ काल काम का सेवन करते हो ना? जहां उसको करना है, जिस समय पे करना चाहिए उसी समय पे करते हो ना? ये है शास्त्र में. So then, when you have a lack of sleep, you are not able to sleep through mantra, you are not able to sleep through yoga, then what you have to do? You have to sleep through medicine. तो जैसे निद्रा चालू हो गई तो उसका परिणाम क्या हो जाएगा? सोबरिटी आ जाती है. So next day when somebody rises after sleeping properly, they are much more submissive in regards to the words, in regards to mantras, in regards to yoga. क्योंकि कैपेसिटी बढ़ गया. We always tell this story many times. Toka Krishna Prabhu, when he was about to leave, he was about to leave this world, they brought him from the hospital here, and some of us, we were staying up because they told, जा सकता है आज ही. So we knew it was confirmed since 2-3 months that he is going to go, leave this world 2005, 2006. So then, what happened was that whole night, all of us, we kept him alert and awake. क्योंकि मरना है तो चेतना जागृत होना चाहिए ना. हरिनाम सुनते सुनते मरना चाहिए. निद्रा में मरेगा तो क्या होगा उसका? अंतकाले च मामेमा स्वरण मुक्त्वा कलेवरम. So whole night he stayed up. We were taking turns reading Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, reading the Parikshit Maharaj is passing away, Bhishma is passing away, Haridas Thakur is passing away. The reading of passing away was over, but he didn't pass away only. He continued to stay, but the problem was, because he did not sleep that night, next day afternoon there was a delirium. And the delirium started making very irritated. And in his irritation, he was very angry with all of us. बोला निकालो इधर से मेरे को. I don't want to stay here. Take me back home. So then we started becoming philosophers. देखो माया कितना स्ट्रांग है. आदमी मरते समय भी बिगड़ जाता है, उसकी बुद्धि भ्रष्ट हो जाती है. इसीलिए कितना अलर्ट होना चाहिए कृष्ण भावनामृत में. So this is what we are speaking. But there was one doctor devotee, he was Bhakti Tirth Maharaj's disciple. He had he had experience of treating him. He said, बाबा उसको रात को सुलाओ, ठीक हो जाएगा वो. इतना सब बोलने की क्या आवश्यकता है? So let him sleep. That night they gave him the tablet. We asked, what about if he dies? But he said, what if he doesn't die today? तो ज़्यादा पागल हो जाएगा. बोले सो जाएगा तो ठीक हो जाएगा. So that night he slept. Next morning again normal. Just see the power of sleep. Therefore Krishna, when he says, when you lack sleep, you become crazy. तो उसको क्या करना है? शब्दों से नहीं सुन सकता है वो. तेल लगाने से उसको नींद नहीं आ रही है. अगर आ गया तो अच्छा है, नारायण तेल लगाओ तो नींद आ जाती है. अगर नहीं आ रहा है, मंत्र से ट्राई करो, योग निद्रा से, वो भी नहीं हो रहा है, देन दवाई देना पड़ेगा. And I've seen it. This both cases, I'm dealing this both cases. दोनों को भी निद्रा आ रही है. एक को मंत्र से आ रही है, एक को दवाई से आ रही है. और जो दवाई ले रहे, they are more submissive to accept certain realities of life. तो इसीलिए he says, inaction, nip in the bud. अगर नहीं करेंगे, केवल चिंतन करते रहेंगे, समस्या हल नहीं होगी. युधिष्ठिर महाराज को अक्षय पात्र मिल गया. And the interesting part, I never knew about this. Today I read it. It is not that अक्षय पात्र में खाना अपने आप बनता था. आपको खाना बनाना पड़ता था. तो खाना बनाने के बाद, once you cook in that अक्षय पात्र, then if you have cooked 1 kilo rice, it would become 100 kilo, depending upon however much you want. जैसे सामने अतिथि आ गए, उसके अनुसार उसकी क्षमता बढ़ती थी, लेकिन कुकिंग आपको करना ही पड़ता था. So what does it say? Your purushartha has to be there. You have to cook, you have to feed. And the second last person who would take the meal was Yudhishthira Maharaj. Then Draupadi would take. Once Draupadi would take the meal, the pot would stop functioning for that day. तो उसको साफ करके रखते थे, अगले दिन फिर से कुकिंग करते थे, and then again the volume of the ingredient would increase. So cooking करना आपका पुरुषार्थ है और बढ़ना वो दैव है. लेकिन पुरुषार्थ के बिना दैव नहीं हो सकता. So therefore dharma in action, dharma in action is laziness. And then agyan, again it's all connected to ignorance, agyan, laziness and arrogance, and they're all connected to ignorance only. So what did he say? Agyan is cause of shoka. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, api chetassi papebhya sarvebhya papa krittama sarva jnana plavainama vrijanam sintarashyasi. That one is situated in the boat of transcendental knowledge. Therefore education is a continual process. I need to be educated about old age also. It's not just becoming old. Things change when you become old. When you become a mother-in-law, it's not accidentally become mother-in-law. You need to be trained what is mother-in-law means. Biologically तो बन गए, लेकिन उसका शिक्षण कौन देगा, एजुकेशन कौन देगा? Because one small mistake, one small word wrongly said, sometime it happens. Not sometime, all the time it happens. In regards to lack of knowledge makes us speak wrong things. Therefore the process for destruction does not exist. It happens because we are not educated. And process for construction requires great deal of investment. अगर मैं दांत घिसूंगा नहीं, if I don't brush, it stings. So degradation, there is no process. But purification, there is a greater process. Positivity has a bigger process than non-positivity. So therefore, Bhagavatam explains, Agyan cannot destroy by the power of time. सब कुछ नाश हो सकता है. Everything is destroyed by the power of time. Big dynasties. No, powerful empires, powerful industries, powerful people, they just disappeared. I asked this question to students. Do you know some of the great players? I asked some cricket loving children, do you know Donald Broadman? They didn't know him also. The legendary cricketer. So it's only a question of time. The children will forget because everybody wants to become bigger, na? Now everybody wants to be Virat Kohli. Sachin is gone now. तो क्या होगा थोड़े समय के बाद में, because I am the one who wants to be there, they will not have any history about who played what. They'll only want to be presently relevant, so therefore their point will be, मैं अपने आप को जानता हूँ कि नहीं, इतिहास भूल जाओ. Who played, how much runs they did, they will have no interest only. Everybody will wants to be a cricketer and everybody wants to be a prime minister. जिनका एक भी सीट नहीं आया वो सोचते हैं आई एम रेडी फॉर बीइंग अ प्राइम मिनिस्टर. देखो मतलब कितना बड़ा एरोगेंस है, अभिमान है, और किसके कारण? अज्ञान के कारण. So if everybody, Hanuman ji was so powerful, but not even once in his mind it crossed that I should be the king of Kishkinda Kshetra. कभी मन में आए नहीं. As I was saying, when we played cricket, मन में कभी नहीं आया कि मुझे रणजी ट्रॉफी भी खेलना चाहिए. Because we were busy in playing, enjoying that moment, rather than dreaming about wanting to be like this. Sometimes people say, no, because you did not dream, therefore you are not playing cricket. No, that is not dream, that is imagination. If you see some of the greatest of the sports people, not this commercial organized sports, even 30 years ago, most of these greatest of the sports people, they came to sports not because they wanted to be something. They just played the game so happily, so absorbed. Expertise became a byproduct for them. Expertise became byproduct for them. So therefore they played. They played while non-professional and they played as a professional. In either case, the foundational principle of enjoying the play was more important. And unfortunately now, whether you play the first day of your life and you play in a match, you don't enjoy only because you're only thinking about the next match. मैं रहूँगा कि नहीं, present को भूल गए. Therefore, Agyan is the cause of shoka. Agyan of my present, Agyan of my past, Agyan of my future based upon my present situation, वो मेरे दुख का कारण बन जाता है. So the next question he asks, what is called as Tairya by Rishis? What is called as Dhairya? What is best Snana? What is called as Dana? Again, not shaking for Swadharma is Tairya. Very interesting. Again, this question comes. No, people say Satya ka hamesha jay hota hai. But when it doesn't happen, then we compromise with our Swadharma. Swadharma is different from the position. आप जो रोल खेल रहे हो बाहर के दुनिया में, that is not Swadharma, that is profession. Swadharma is not even that position which is basically you became that. You got married, therefore you became husband. तो पत्नी धर्म हो गया, पति धर्म हो गया, पुत्री धर्म हो गया, माता धर्म हो गया. Somebody made you mother. Somebody came to this world, therefore they made you mother. That is positional dharma. That is a relational dharma. वो सापेक्षित धर्म है. But that dharma is connected to your psychophysical nature, which is 4 in nature: Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahman. Combination of these 4 is called as our Swadharma. So it is said when we practice our dharma, in the beginning there is great challenges. Somebody gave the example of a warrior. On the battlefield, when a soldier is fighting, he is fighting on behalf of his country. And why is he fighting? Either to defend or to attack. In either case, he wants his country to be successful. So you see in life lot of failures, but you also see success in life. दोनों का भी आप अनुभव करते हो. So when the soldier is falling on the battlefield, being shot by his enemy soldier, he has a flag in his hand, is falling down. But as he falling down, he gives the flag to the next soldier while calling out Bharat Mata ki Jai. यानी कि उसका परास्त हो रहा है, वो मर रहा है, उसकी जान जा रही है, लेकिन जान जाते हुए भी उसकी प्रेरणा क्या है? व्हाट इज हिज कॉन्फिडेंस, व्हाट इज हिज कन्विक्शन, व्हाट इज हिज पॉजिटिविटी? भारत माता की जय. यानी कि उसका विश्वास. The strength is the victory will happen, may not be in my time, but the victory will happen. That is the mantra of the Vedas. धर्म का जय हो, अधर्म का नाश हो, सत्य का जय हो, असत्य का नाश हो. Therefore, the Vedic Upanishad mantras are मृत्यु से अमृतत्व को प्राप्त करें. From chaotic condition to orderliness, and from death to immortality. ये विश्वास है, ये विश्वास. So for that also आदि के लिए क्या चाहिए? सकारात्मक भावना की भी आवश्यकता है. Therefore all the sankalpas in the Vedic scripture invoking auspiciousness in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end also. Therefore, one who understands this principle, in all kinds of reversal, he continues to glorify confidence in dharma. मतलब नहीं, मैं धर्म नहीं छोड़ूंगा. Therefore, when Yudhishthira Maharaj questioned Draupadi, how could you speak about, how could you say this? नास्तिकता का तुम प्रचार कैसे कर रही हो? ईश्वर के विरुद्ध कैसे बोल रही हो? तो क्या कहते हैं? द्रौपदी says, you don't teach me. I do not disregard dharma and I don't disregard Ishwar. I am only doing because I am releasing, because there is a pain. और मैं करती रहूंगी. इसका अर्थ नहीं कि मेरा विश्वास नहीं है, मेरी पूरी श्रद्धा है. So a relationship with dharma and Ishwar is so strong. She has a personal relationship होने के कारण वो भगवान को, धर्म को डांट सकती है. वो डांटना वो नास्तिकता का लक्षण नहीं है. Just like if you talk to the great Go Bhaktas who are actually serving the cows, bringing them from the most difficult situation in the challenging situation, sometimes they speak. What do they say? Those who are emotional Go Bhaktas, they talk about protecting the cows. And those who are actual Go Bhaktas, those who are serving the cows, sometimes they make statement, अरे वो गाय मरना अच्छा है जीने से. तो आपको लगता है ऐसे कैसे बोल रहे हो? क्योंकि मैं तो केवल गाय की मूर्ति बनाकर उसको गार्लैंड डाल के गुड़ खा लेता हूं. लेकिन जो असली गाय की सेवा कर रहा है, वन इज एक्चुअली सर्विंग काउस, he knows the scarcity, he knows the trouble with water, he knows there are more cows in the Goshala and less resources, and some cows are suffering so much. Then certainly you are only thinking good about the cows. Therefore you feel it is better for these cows to leave this world rather than continue to suffer. उनके मृत्यु की आशा से उनके भलाई सोचते. I remember one devotee was telling when he used to go to villages to preach, one elderly lady, 90-year-old lady, she saw this devotee and she gave him 5 rupees. He said, pray that I die. बोला प्रार्थना करो मेरे लिए कि मैं मर जाऊंगी, क्योंकि शरीर क्या 90 साल का हुआ था, लोग थे देखभाल करने के लिए, there were people to take care, but the body was not able to handle. So therefore she gave that money asking this devotee to pray that tell God to release me. तो क्या करना चाहिए? नहीं नहीं, आपको जीना चाहिए, आपको जीने के लिए आशीर्वाद देंगे. You may not answer, you may not say you die, but you will not be able to pray, you stay. तो जब भी ऐसे गोभक्त बोलते हैं, हमें समझना चाहिए कि उनका क्लेश कितना है. We are saying philosophically they should stay. How can you say the cow should die? But he's talking beyond philosophy, he's talking reality of taking care of the cows. इसलिए कभी कभी बोलते हैं ना, अरे मुक्त हो गए हो. Not because they don't want to serve, because they see the suffering and therefore they say, they just got liberated from the pain. So therefore, not shaking from swadharma is stairya, patience. And controlling senses is patience. Stairya is basically, perseverance. And then controlling senses is patience, dhairya. This is all over in the Bhagavad Gita about इंद्रिय निग्रह. बार बार कृष्ण कितने जगह में खेलते हैं, in every aspect. One simple thing is that when you come from a very strong heat, suddenly you start your air conditioner for 18 degree. Right? The body, what happens, cannot take it. It sounds good, but it is not fair for the body. So therefore, acclimatization with the weather is very important. When you go to Himalayas, the guides will always tell you, acclimatize, acclimatize, acclimatize. तो जैसे जब भी किसी को भोग मिल जाता है, तो एक्लेमेटाइज करना चाहिए. अगर किसी ने उपवास किया है और सडनली आपके सामने बहुत कुछ रख दिया, तो ओवर पंपिंग व्हाट डज इट डू? इट कॉजेस ट्रबल. Therefore, Indriya Nigraha is not simply an Adarsha, it is also a great Vyavhar for growing in life. Next one is washing mental contamination is best snana. मानसिक जो क्लेश है उसको दूर करने की प्रक्रिया, we discussed that. तो यहाँ कृष्ण is talking about Yudhishthira Maharaj saying that one who is able to deal. Therefore, Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he told Draupadi, he said, I can't be angry with anybody. मैं क्षमा को ही महान समझता हूँ. That doesn't mean that he didn't know how to punish. But he made punishment under the foundation of kshama. Therefore, there was no personal grudge. Because he is called as Ajata Shatru. उसके कोई शत्रु थे ही नहीं, किसी को अपना शत्रु माना ही नहीं. When he got to know that Duryodhana is in great trouble, when his followers came and told, please, please help. Even Duryodhana called for help. It is not only the soldiers. B.R. Chopra के महाभारत में, when that soldier runs to Yudhishthira Maharaj for help, and Yudhishthira Maharaj helps, then Duryodhana kills him. That is not true. In Mahabharata, even Duryodhana seeked help from Yudhishthira Maharaj, and instantly Yudhishthira Maharaj said, "Ore, go and protect him." Dushala was the only sister of the Pandavas and the Kauravas, and her husband Jayadratha, he became so mad at Draupadi, and then he kidnapped Draupadi, and when Arjuna and Bhima got to know, they chased him. And then as they were going, Yudhishthira Maharaj told Bhima and Arjuna, don't kill him because he is the only son-in-law of Dhritarashtra. Then Bhima said, फिर से दे दिया आज्ञा. So he went. And then when he saw Jayadratha, Bhima lost it. And he was about to kill him. And Arjuna reminded, he said, don't kill him because Yudhishthira Maharaj told not to kill him. So in one sense, Arjuna was responsible for the death of his own son. If he had not reminded, Abhimanyu would have not died from the analytical perspective. But the point is, Arjun, even next lifetime, will still remind Bhima about the vows taken by Yudhishthira Maharaj to protect the only son-in-law of Dhritarashtra. And therefore, sometime when you practice dharma, apparently it may sound that there is a loss. No, we should also become like the invaders. No, you don't become like them. You become alert. You don't give up your dharma, because only dharma eventually becomes prosperous and flourishes. The Rakshasas and the demons flourish, but their flourishing is only some time bound. And the flourishment of the Daivik people is boundless. There is no time. Circumstantially हारेंगे, लेकिन constitutionally वो जीते रहेंगे. And then he said, what is the best? What is called as dana? Jiva Raksha is the best charity. देखो, who is saying this? A Kshatriya is saying it. And what is the role of a Kshatriya? A Kshatriya's role is to basically Kshatrayate Kshatriya, punishing people, even giving death penalty to protect someone who is oppressed, is the duty of a Kshatriya. Therefore, when Krishna speaks 12th chapter to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, Adveshta Sarvabhutanam Maitra Karunaivacha Nirmamo Nirhankara Sukha Dukha Kshami. He's talking about Aniketa Sthiramatir, na dvesh karte ho. So therefore here Yudhishthira Maharaj said, Jiva Raksha is the best charity. Therefore non-violence in Vedic Sanskriti is not that there is no violence. Non-violence in Vedic Sanskriti is judicious violence when is required as less as possible. When we talk about vegetarianism and non-vegetarianism, we don't say there is no life in vegetables. We say that if there is a choice between creating limitless violence or minimal violence, because violence cannot be avoided, because you are living in this world, continuously you are violent. When you do a deal, when there is a bargain, when you do a deal, you are basically being expert in bargaining. You make seller earn less money. Violence हो गया उधर. When you buy a deal, when you sell it somebody else, there are two people who are willing to sell. When there is a tender, Vaishya ho, jo vegetarian bhi ho, fears, with great fears when he is doing a business deal or she is doing a business deal, what happens? You are causing violence to somebody else. I may lose this, I may lose this. कितने लोगों के साथ में होता है? Right. So therefore, the material world does not allow you non-violence. Material world, Krishna's principle is minimize the violence. जितना कम क्लेश हो सके उतना कम क्लेश दो. But to say that my principle is that I will not cause any violence to anybody is the greatest violence. No? So therefore, here Jiva Raksha, ये कहाँ से संस्कृति है? Jiva Raksha, it is not based upon whether he is your type of person or not. In the entire battle of Kurukshetra or in the battle of Ramayana, just see, war happened out of reluctancy. Lord Ram also, Pandavas also, they were not eager, they were Kshatriya, therefore there was the great spirit of establishing dharma. But when it came to violence, even Bhima for that matter, he told Krishna, 5 villages, okay Krishna, I don't want anything. उसके लिए तैयार हो गया. डर के कारण नहीं, क्योंकि डिस्पोजिशन ही ऐसा है. The mentality is like that only. One who proposes violence for the sake of violence, he cannot be part of Sanatan Dharma. हो ही नहीं सकता हो. परंतु इसका अर्थ नहीं कि सनातन धर्म वाला दंड देना नहीं जानता. The original heroes, Prabhupada says, Hanumanji and Arjun, they knew the art of punishment, but they also had the foundation of daya. Therefore, here Yudhishthira Maharaj said the greatest charity is a Jiva Raksha. And what is Jiva Raksha? Jiva Raksha is nothing but helping the living entity towards the progressive march. And the modern society has stopped protecting the Jiva because it has destroyed the authenticity of the living entity. हर चीज में there is fake. The problem of Kali Yuga is not conflict. The problem of Kali Yuga is the large industry of fakeness. Artificiality सबसे बड़ा पाप है. कृत्रिमता, hypocrisy in regards to, again, Shastras are so brilliant, they don't mind you make mistakes because they understand you make mistakes. दुर्बलता जीव का एक गुण है, that is forgiven to such an extent कि Shastra says even if somebody has killed a mother consciously, we are not promoting, somebody has done that, but there is a repentance and there is a process to overcome that sin also. जिसने गाय की हत्या की है, बहुत बड़ा पाप किया है गाय को मारना, उसके लिए भी प्रायश्चित है. There is a प्रायश्चित for that also. If there is an expression of honesty. So therefore, Jiva Raksha means, as far as Yudhishthira Maharaj speaks, if you see from the Mahabharata Gita's perspective, Jiva Raksha means helping ourselves to become authentic and helping others to become authentic. इसलिए अगला जब भी प्रश्न आएगा डंब का, दम्भ means what? Dhamma means basically, acting something and being something. फिर से मैच फिक्सिंग हो गया उधर. मैच फिक्सिंग इज नॉट एन इवेंट, मैच फिक्सिंग इज अ साइकोलॉजी. क्रिकेटर लोगों को उनको दोष देने की आवश्यकता नहीं. एज वी सेड अगेन एंड अगेन that it is a disposition where there is some other reality, but we propose some other reality. So the question is, are we supposed to expose ourselves to everybody? No. Expose to yourself. Don't deny the reality. If you don't deny the reality, then you walk the reality. The next step is walking that reality. So therefore, Jiva Raksha is the best charity. Therefore, in all the scripture, this is a very interesting, T.S. Eliot, दान की चर्चा होती है ना, दान के बारे में in बृहदारण्यक उपनिषद, there is Prajapati told देवतास, दानवास and मानवास. वो तीनों ने आकर उनसे पूछा. And this T.S. Eliot wrote a beautiful poem in 4 quarters. Very interesting. Ganga was sunken and the limp leaves waited for rain, while the black clouds gathered far distant over Himavanta. The jungle crouched, humped in silence. Then spoke the thunder, Da, Datta, Dayadvam, and Datta, Dayadvam, and Damyata. What does it mean? So he told the Danavas, because दानव को उन्होंने द कहा, मानव को भी द कहा और देवताओं को भी द कहा. So T.S. Eliot took this concept from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and his English poetry wrote this. We don't read this. Did anybody study in their school? No, they studied those literatures. Of course, Shakespeare people studied, that's good. But so many people picked up the concept of the dana from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and here the Prajapati told, for the Danavas their nature is cruelty. उन्होंने कहा आप क्या करो, दया दिखाओ. और देवताओं की समस्या क्या है, लिमिटलेस ग्रेटिफिकेशन. Continuously staying in 5-star hotel free of cost, 7-star, जो चाहिए मांगो, किसी का भी बिल नहीं आएगा, भोग की कोई सीमा ही नहीं, कोई रूल भी नहीं उधर. That's what Urvashi said. He said there is no such rule as my ancestor and your ancestor. In Devaloka everybody is equal. It sounds like an animalistic place, but it is not. वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. देखो कितना रूल सब रिलेटिव होता है. पाप भी नहीं लगता उधर, कोई रिएक्शन नहीं है. इतना सारा सुख, इतना सारा भोग, और पाप का कोई डर नहीं है. सो व्हाट डिड प्रजापति टोल्ड देम, दोस देवतास, इंद्रिय निग्रह करो. और मनुष्य को क्या कहा उन्होंने, बिकॉज द मैन, ह्यूमन बीइंग, लिव्स इन द लैंड ऑफ लिमिटलेस ड्युअलिटी. People, those who have, are surrounded by people those don't have. People, those who have more intelligence, are surrounded by people those who have less intelligence. There are sabalas and there are abalas. There are people with more resources and with less resources. Therefore, what did Prajapati told the Manushas? He said, Dan, Dan, Dan. दान दो, दान दो, दान दो. इसलिए the whole concept, when the child is conceived, उसको क्या कहते हैं, गर्भदान. When the child, your daughter, is given, what does it called, kanyadan. When you give food distribution, what is called as annadan. When you give knowledge, that is called as vidyadan. तो दान शब्द हर चीज में आएगा. लॉर्ड नित्यानंद प्रभु ने क्या किया, हरि नाम का दान दिया. सो दान कॉन्सेप्ट इज, इफ यू स्टडी इन दिस एंटायर 122 or 124 क्वेश्चंस, व्हाट यू हियर मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम, यू हियर द वर्ड दान, दान, दान. अभय दान, अर्जुन का ग्रेटेस्ट स्ट्रेंथ क्या था, दान देना. देयरफॉर हियर ही सेज that Jiva Raksha, and Jiva Raksha here means actually helping the living entity be connected to their disposition. And when they are connected to their disposition, from there they have a greater chance of growing, longer, larger, and also wider, to accommodate Om Purnam Ada Purnam Purnat Purnam Udachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Shishyate. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj tomorrow will hear Braj Bihari Prabhu and Baldev Prabhu speak. One of the greatest instruction Lord Narsingh they gave Prahlad Maharaj is that see your Lord everywhere. जहाँ कहीं भी देखते हो वहाँ भगवान को देखो. And that's therefore when Prahlad was asked by Hiranyakashipu, where do you get this strength from? He said, from the very place where you get. Where is your God? Is he in this pillar? Because Prahlad saw Krishna everywhere. He said, yeah, everywhere. He needs this pillar also. So the entire 7th canto Bhagavatam, Prahlada's story, is the story of seeing Lord everywhere. Therefore, Prahlad, just see, Prahlad was faithful, but his Shraddha was based upon science. ये बार बार कहता हूँ मैं, if you go and ask a faithful Abrahamic person about his father or mother's destination, if they have not practiced the very faith, they will say, unfortunately, they will go to hell. ये बात करके देखो आप, जो ardent Christian है, not one who is not deeply studied, one who has deeply studied Christianity as it is, Bible के अनुसार, without any modern interpretation influenced by Vedic system, तो कहेगा नहीं, मेरी माँ नरक में जाएगी कि उन्होंने जीसस को पालन नहीं किया। पालन नहीं किया। यहां हिरण्यकश्यप ने क्या किया? पालन छोड़ो, ताड़न किया प्रहलाद का। There was a continual conflict between Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu. Prahlad was not at all violent, but Hiranyakashipu was extremely violent. He wanted to kill Lord Narsinghdev. He wanted to kill Prahlad. He wanted to kill everybody who was very closely connected to Prahlad. But Prahlad's Shraddha was so great, he saw the indirect energy of Krishna even in the nastiness of Hiranyakashipu. Therefore, when Hiranyakashipu was killed, what did Prahlad ask from Lord Narayan? He said, my dear Lord Narsinghdev, please deliver my father. And Lord Narsinghdev did not say, not possible, wo Shraddha-heen tha. Lord Narsinghdev, in fact, he said, what to speak of him, my dear Prahlad? He says, 21 generation. That means they'll have facilities to execute devotional service or try to practice devotional service. तो प्रहलाद के मन में अपने पिता के प्रति कभी भी क्लेश या क्रोध नहीं आया. Therefore, Prabhupada says, Prahlad means what? Prakrishta rupena alhad. स्वाभाविक रूप से खुश है. स्वाभाविक रूप से खुश है. इसलिए भगवान को सब जगह देखने की क्षमता होने के कारण, therefore a devotee or धार्मिक person, his greatest need as a Sanatan Dharmi is to always see good for others. वो बाण मारते समय भी, even while shooting, shooting he does out of reluctancy, but when somebody falls, he is there. You never find in the Vedic literature, you don't perform last rites to your enemy. एक कितने हजार साल से रावण के सैन्य के हर एक का अंतिम क्रिया करवाया भगवान राम ने. Yudhishthira Maharaj, not to what to speak of only that year, every year when Dhritarashtra wanted to perform the Shraddha ceremony, Yudhishthira Maharaj gave from the personal treasury, अपने खुद के राज्य कोष से भीम देने नहीं दिया. No, he had his reason also, but Yudhishthira Maharaj gave without fail every year. Even during the Kargil war, when the Pakistanis did not take some of the dead bodies, the Indian front gave a burial to them. ये नहीं सोचा कि अरे इसको फेंक दो इधर ही उधर ही, इसको अंतिम क्रिया नहीं मिलना चाहिए. ये सोच ही नहीं सकता, क्योंकि गुस्सा किसके प्रति है? उस शरीर के प्रति है. पाप के प्रति गुस्सा है, लेकिन उस व्यक्ति के प्रति नहीं है. और जो व्यक्ति को ऑक्यूपाई किया हुआ जो बॉडी है उसके प्रति नहीं है. उसको सब कुछ मिलेगा, जैसे कोई बड़े स्वामी को, बड़े सन्यासी को, बड़े गुरु को जो उसके लिए जो भी मिलना चाहिए, वैसा अंतिम क्रिया एक साधारण पापी को मिलेगा ही. दिस इज सनातन धर्म. विद दिस आई विल स्टॉप हियर. हरे कृष्णा.
RG Media YouTube channel. Like, share, subscribe.